Good night, gentle people. Good night, everyone. Welcome to another Sports Frenzzyy live show. I'm your host, Levon, and with me tonight I have Coach Minzy from Coach's Desk, and also have Ryan, residential analyst of this show. Good night, gentlemen. How are you doing?
I'm good.
I'm doing well enough. Thanks for having me.
Man, come out in a United jersey tonight.
Yeah, man, straight.
So first and foremost, we're going to start this off by discussing some cricket. And we look no further than start with the West Indies. We came on the show Wednesday and we said that, well, a couple of our guests at the point said that they expect two outcome in this game. It's either a draw result or a Sri Lanka win. From the get-go, from West Indies started to bat, draw was written all over the game. But on the 50th, I was looking at it and I'm saying, like, all right, guys, you have the batsman to actually chase the score. Why not go after it? And it's not a case as if you would go there and just play a lot of irrational shots or things like that, right? But from a man like Kyle Mayers on 52 of like 100 balls, I was like, there we go, this is a draw game. And then Banner 100 of what? 200 and about 45 deliveries thereabouts. Ryan is of the perspective that it was a good draw, while I'm of the perspective that it was a negative mindset from the West Indies from the beginning. Ryan, take it on quickly.
It's a good draw from the perspective of the bowlers and the fielders allowing the Sri Lanka to get away in the second innings. So giving yourself that mountain to climb, you now have to decide which risk you want to take on the last day, whether you want to go after the 300 and maybe, what was it, 330 odd runs on the final day, or you want to save the test. And I think that chose the better option, because the thing with test cricket is not like chasing 300 odd in a one-day match, because the fielding restrictions are more, is it more or less? You have less fielding restrictions, I should
Let's
say.
feel restrictions, but then again,
Because you can spread your you can spread your field. The captain can put him field at them anywhere more to prevent scoring opportunities and so forth. So you have a higher chance of getting out going after such a big score in a test match on a final day.
But you know that I don't agree with you though.
Huh?
You know that I don't agree with you.
Tell me why.
All right. First and foremost, right? With all those field placing, we expect the field to be more spread, given that you don't really have the fielding restrictions vis-a-vis a one-day or a T20 match. It doesn't necessarily mean that the batsmen have to try to go for boundaries. They could find the gaps, get the twos and the threes there all around the field. Because again, if you would try to go out and be attacking and you try to go after the boundaries, this will then put in the captain and say, here what, I have to go defensive, so then I'll start putting men on the boundary. That's where you as a batsman use your intelligence now and start knocking the ball into the gaps, and you convert the ones into twos and the twos into threes, and guess what? Little by little, that mammoth total keeps on chipping down. When a captaincy that start happening now, where you're getting the ones and the twos that you keep on converting, where sometimes there wasn't a one there, but here what is it? Because of the intelligence that you have, and based on the output that you're looking at, that you started off on a positive note, you will start bringing the feel again. Now this will open opportunities for you to go over the top again to try and get the boundaries. And guess what? You'll be playing with the captain mind that, here what, I have to probably settle for this, or you keep on just toying with him until one of the runs just keep on chipping down.
They're chasing 375, not 275.
Again,
if they were chasing 275, that point would make sense. When you have such a big score to chase, you can be as defensive as you want on a final day. So the captain, let us say West Indies had made 120 in the first session and lose a wicket. The captain still could be defensive enough, because he have 200 odd more runs to play with. So yes, when you're chasing such a big score, the captain has the opportunity to relax his field. I remember also now, with the fielding restrictions, less fielding restrictions, the bowlers also have less restrictions, because a wide in ODI and T20, is not a wide in a test match.
Yeah.
So
I
it
think
is.
I agree. I think I agree with you, Ryan, because given the circumstances and where they were in Sri Lanka's second innings, definitely come the last day, it was all about saving that test, right? And the only challenge I have though is that even though they would have wanted to save the test, it should have been a positive mindset. Take the singles where necessary. Whether a good or a bad ball is bowled, you can play a shot, get a boundary, no here and there. But I mean, the draw is good for them based on where they were in the test match.
Still don't
Based on
agree
where
with
they
you there
allow
because
themselves to be in the test match.
Yeah,
there
based
you
on
have it.
yeah,
You
yeah,
just make a point for me there because I was saying that if these men had went out with a positive mindset, they wouldn't have ended
No,
up in
no. When
that
I say
position.
allow
Ryan.
themselves to be, I'm referring to the way where the bowlers allow Sri Lanka to get away in their second innings. You know, that's the
But
standpoint I'm coming from.
all right, Ryan. They allowed Sri Lanka to get away, in which I already spoke about that Shannon Gabriel shouldn't have played this match. Man must consider him for a while. Proven fitness, because to me, he's not fit. All right, past that. You have the what? 370 had to make, right? Remember this, West Indies ended on 236 for 4 off, guess what? 100 overs. Boss man, scoring at 3.76 runs per over in a test match is not rocket science in a boss. That is a solely gettable target. And remember that they were hot one.
Multiply 3.8 by 90. What do you get?
3.8 by 90.
Yeah, multiply that by 90.
Producer, do the maths. But all right, remember what I'm getting at in around that there were more than 90 overs remaining. 3.8 times 90. 342.
342. How much teams make 342 on a day in test cricket?
How much teams make it?
Yeah, not a lot of teams. It's not a normal thing to do in a test match. In one
Yeah,
day.
but what I'm bringing across, Ryan, is that based on who they were playing against, and it's not a case as if the Sri Lankans were all that over the top in terms of their bowling. So it was quite a gettable target, but then again, we're talking about the West Indies. So
yeah, West Indies. Plus,
Exactly.
maybe I'm expecting too much.
Exactly. I'm glad you remember that one.
But coach, your overall take on the match itself.
like I said initially, I think it was a good draw for the West Indies. They would have placed themselves in the position in the second innings. I think they did awful in the second innings, the bowling and the fielding. But to get a draw out of the game, then it's the West Indies. They did not lose. So I mean, they are happy and the fans should be happy.
All right, so first test out of the way. We'll now look ahead to the second test. If you were the West Indies coach, what would you do, Ryan? Which starting 11 would you go with? Would you persist with John Campbell or would you persist with Shannon Gabriel?
I'll go with 10 men. John Campbell definitely can't play. And if we
Well,
can't find anybody to
you're
replace
kind of
him.
wrong there, though, Ryan. You're saying that you'll go with 10. Actually, it's 9. Shannon Gabriel, remember him.
No, Shannon Gabriel has somebody who can replace him. I don't know who replace John.
Well, technically you're correct.
And from what I'm hearing is like they're not going to replace him for the second test. So I mean, you have to deal with him for that second test.
Boy. All right, so coach, would you make any alternation to the current team?
Yeah, man. The two persons that you mentioned in Gabriel and John Campbell, but there and then, like I said, there's no replacement for John Campbell. It would be very difficult to get someone to replace him who can do quote unquote better. But I mean, yeah, just Gabriel I will change.
What do you bring in for Gabriel? Would you play the extra spinner in what is his name again? Warrican?
It's kind of iffy there, but I mean, it wouldn't be a problem for me. It wouldn't be a problem to throw him in, but it's kind of iffy. An extra.
I would either go Warrican or Shamar Holder.
All right. But personally, for me, as I said, Gabriel must go sit down until he prove his fitness. Otherwise, from that, West Indies is playing with 9 men because John Campbell is a headless man and the next man don't really have much sense. Well, there's Demo in the comment section saying that Jaden Seals. However, I think they're giving him more time to actually develop. I would have thrown him in the mix already because seems like a decent bowler and all of that, and he has decent line and length. But then, as I said,
How many first class games does he have though under his belt?
not a lot, handful. But what's wrong in just throwing a man into the mix? You may never know,
Yeah, it would be good to give him
Yeah,
a.
which is why I'm suggesting Ola Shamar, because we used him in one test in New Zealand. He wasn't bad, and no, we haven't seen him since that.
Well,
So
yeah,
give
I
him a next
understand.
try.
I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But all right, for the cricket lovers also, we saw a very high-scoring, entertaining match between India and England today in an ODI. India made 336 for what? Six was it was,
Yeah,
and England chased it down 337 for four. Just well, not just it was Johnny Bairstow and Ben Stokes had a field day. Well, they had a six fest. Stokes scored 99 of 52 with 10 sixes, while Bairstow made 120 of 112, and also there was a century for KL Rahul. Now move on to some football, and we look no further than the UEFA European Under-21 Championship. And we start off with Ryan team. They were so disappointing. How can a team have 67% possession and only had one shot? One shot on target, Let me just give you guys an idea of what the team was. Aaron Ramsdale, Ben Godfrey, Mark Goey, Lloyd Kelly, Max Aarons, Tom Davies, Oliver Skip, Dwight McNeil, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Eddie Nketiah, the captain, and Emily Smith-Rowe. They lost 1-0 to a decent Switzerland side, but the Swiss team is nowhere close in quality to this English team. Ryan, how you explain this, boss man? You guys were so awful and
you ask
disappointing.
how they can do that one shot with 68%, because they have an Arsenal striker up front who can only score tap-ins.
And that's just your sole explanation.
Remember, I said it on the podcast the night before the match. Said I have no faith in Eddie.
Nketiah.
From
Yeah, man, I remember I said it.
from Mason Greenwood was ruled out. My expectations just fell, because I am not convinced that Nketiah can score the goals against those quality teams, and I am not. And Ryan Brewster hasn't sneezed in front of a goal for the past year or two. So I had no confidence in the front, in the forward, in the centre forwards to score goals.
All right, Ryan, I know that you're an English fan, and the producer is also a big English fan. And then they tagged him multiple times right through because it was taught in the English as the team to beat along with the French team. But this is one of his concerns, and it has been a concern for the longest while. The coach, Eddie Boothroyd, he's always saying that this man lacks tactical notes and he doesn't know the perfect starting 11 or who exactly start. Because you're going to start Tom Davies and Oliver Skip. Both those men are defensive players, and you have Curtis Jones.
I was surprised when Curtis was on the bench. I was surprised when Lloyd Kelly started. I think Sessignon should have started over Kelly. So there were some people in the starting 11 I wouldn't have started with.
No, but if you look at it then, Ryan, remember that Sessignon would be like a left wing or left wing back. Like Kelly was playing as a left centre back.
And that's the other thing. I wouldn't have gone with a back three. I would have gone with a back four. What was the purpose of a back three against Swiss? Throughout the
Only Eddie can
qualifiers,
answer that question.
they have used a back four religiously. Why now in the tournament, the first match of the tournament, you go with a back three? There was no
Only
need for
Mr.
that.
Eddie can explain that. And you have people that says he's a good coach and he's this, he's that, but I think he's bang on average. Based on the teams that England has, as from the past couple of years, England should have done way better, and they put themselves under pressure now because it seems highly unlikely that they will make it out of the group now with this Portugal team who got a 1-0 victory over Croatia, and this Croatia team is also not a walkover. So it seems highly unlikely that you guys will make it out of the group stages.
Yeah, I think we already played the easiest team in the group. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't go through this one.
So that means you saw any other?
Say that again. No, I didn't watch the game, but based on what I've seen in reports, England would have lost the game, and I think it's I don't know, but something I'm seeing throughout football now. I don't know if it is a new thing where coaches are using two defensive mind midfielder just to sit before the defense. I don't know what's the thing behind that, but I mean most persons are using it now. I don't like it. But I mean
because they do it because they're using the wing backs as attackers.
Yeah, but it can still be used with the wing back. You can still use one central midfielder with wing backs overlapping. If you look into the Jamaica game, we weren't overlapping as much, and we had two of those players. So I mean, it can be done with one. So I mean,
I agree.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you use the centre half to push them up higher and use them to mark to zone spaces.
Exactly. England would have had a whole lot of possession in this game, but when you look at it, they did not took many shots at goal. So possession again doesn't mean that you're playing well. Possibly that team was very hard to break down, or they weren't doing what they're supposed to be doing in the final third or the attacking.
It was a latter one.
It was a latter one. They weren't doing what they're supposed to do. But this team seemed to me like a big team, so I don't understand why. But it's who show up on the day. So I guess the Swiss team was more purposeful. They get
Coach,
what they got.
Put it like this. England coach no good.
Well,
the man just no good.
Well. I don't want to beat up on a coach like that, but I mean, I can understand where you're coming from.
And I'm sure the players will agree. Because said that this under-21 team has taken up what he became accustomed to with the Spanish side. Pass. No quick, intricate play and nothing like that. And if you look at the team, you have a lot of fast players in this team. So I couldn't understand why they just focused on this position.
How you going intricate play when you have a static striker?
There you go. So as you're saying, Nketiah should leave his side, right?
Right. Well, he's the captain, so you know that's not going to happen right now.
One of the worst decisions, but also a team that also surprised a lot of us. The next one that they said is the next big favorite, France. They got a hot 1-0 from Denmark. And listen to this French team: Alban Lafont, Wesley Fofana, Jules Koundé, Badiashile, Truffert, Bobo Kamara, Matteo Guendouzi, Favre, Kamavinga, Guiri, and Edward. How do you explain they're losing 1-0 to a Denmark side, coach?
Again, football is not played on paper, you know. So we can see with the England game there, football is definitely not played on paper. And oftentimes you come out on the pitch as favorites, but you start out flat and give the opponents an opportunity to settle in the game. So also there's a lot of pressure when you are a quote-unquote big team. Expectation is great, and that can put some undue pressure on the youngsters. So it can happen, and it's quite unfortunate that it happened with this French team. Some very good players, very good setup, but they just didn't show up on the day. And do you ask the question again, is it the coach? Definitely, I wouldn't think so.
All right, so Ryan, I believe this coming from Craig Butler is in reference to what you said and to what the coach was asking. Craig Butler is saying that you use two defensive mids when you intend to hold the game.
Exactly.
Are you of that point of view?
Yeah, but England should not have played to hold the game. England should have played to attack. Well, England went out to attack, so there was no need for two D mids.
By the way,
So
Ryan,
that formation yesterday was a contradiction.
I'm asking, do you know which Craig Butler this is? Is the same
Yeah.
Craig Butler that is associated with Leon Bailey, you know? Was of Phoenix Academy. But
Yeah, man. But
when
why
he's correct.
he's correct, you know, but why would England go with that approach? Why would they want to hold
Exactly,
it?
because you go with two D mids and then you go to play attack. That's
It
a
doesn't make any
contradiction.
sense. Yeah.
but
And like I
What,
said earlier, most teams are using that sort of option. And it if what Craig is saying is correct, then most teams are playing to whole games. But there possible is something else to it. Um, it's something I don't like, and that's my opinion.
me
Just
too. Levon, you also pointed out that a lot of the teams in the tournament have more minutes than England.
yeah,
Yeah, and France is one of them.
said I've expected them to do way better than they did.
Yeah, and they lost. So that's you'd have expected France to have won, given that they have had more minutes under their belts at the club level than England.
All right, so Mr. Lynch is now in the building. Good night, boss.
Sure, good night. Good night.
And I'm sure this match that has a lot of interest in it, and we're going to start right here with the international fixtures. Jamaica against the United States of America. The US ran out 4-1 victors. The starting 11 for both teams, I'm going to read them out respectively. So far the USA had Zach Steffen, Reggie Cannon, Aaron Long, John Brooks, Sergino Dest, Yunus Musa, Kelly Acosta, Sebastian Letgett, Gio Reyna, Josh Sargent, and Pulisic. Jamaica on the other hand, you had Andre Gray, Jamal Lowe, Casey Palmer, Ricardo Morris, Michael Hector, Kevin Isaacs, Amari Bell, Ethan Pinnock, Liam Moore, Adrian Mariappa, and Jaden White in goal. Now they lost 4-1. And let me point out the goal scorers before I get your guys' perspective on the game itself. For US, Sergino Dest opened the scoring after he basically dropped the cone Michael Hector to the floor and then rifled a shot into the back of it. It was a pretty good goal. Then Brendan Aronson, a player that I have a lot of time for, Noah Salzburg in Austria. Really like that player. Then later on, he had getting a double in the 83rd and 90th minute. For Jamaica, he had Jamal Lowe on the score sheet, being assisted by Andre Gray. First and foremost, Christopher, what do you make of the overall performance of the Jamaica team?
To no surprise, it was very scrappy. It was a very scrappy. It was a very scrappy team in the first place. You're not feedback.
Hey man, go ahead now.
All right. Yeah, it was a good. It was nothing that never expected. The USA had the better team. Obviously, they were doing the same thing like Jamaica, searching for chemistry and trying to see what players they can put together. Jamaica didn't. I wouldn't say they didn't play well. They didn't play well, but it was expected that they wouldn't have played well. They had most of their players out, and most of the players were new. Most of the names you don't. Most of the names are not. Most of what 7 debutants I think made their debut. So it wasn't nothing that wasn't expected. But I think the 4-1 was a bit exaggerated because although US outplayed them, I think the two last goals probably shouldn't have scored. But USA was outclassed them. USA outclassed them. The guy he was a cut above the rest. You can see the talent obviously, and Jamaica need their players that they put aside are the players that put aside themselves. They're going to need them if they're going to advance or have any hope of reaching the World Cup.
All right, I see Craig Butler in the comment section having a field there. But Craig, don't want any comment section, boss man, and the show in the Ryan, what do you make of the overall performance, especially that of the US?
I expected the USA to have won, and they had one. Even though USA is also searching for chemistry, a lot of those players have played with each other before, and we have all of 7 debutants. They don't have so much, so they would have had a lot more chemistry than us going into the game. And we only had 2 training sessions. But the JFF need to watch that match and do the right thing. Negotiate, work out whatever the differences are with the players. We already have that core. We just need a few players, not including Michael Hector, to add to the core that is already there. So the JFF just need to ensure that they do the right thing, and so we can move forward with the team that can get us to the World Cup.
All right. Question to you though. Based on the players that you saw on show, right? Of all of them, which one would you incorporate into the team that they had before, the core that Ryan spoke about? And who from the previous team would you drop them for?
That's for me, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I would. Well, in terms of dropping players, it's very difficult to do, because this game was really for the coach to see these players, these new invitees, to see what they can do, what they had to offer to the team. They were flat. Team just assembled, no chemistry. US team was quicker than them, sharper than them. So you can see, evidently was seen that these United States players were actually playing football. All right, so they weren't much rusty as this assembled team. In terms of players, I would take out of this. You have a Ethan Pinnock and a Liam Moore. They would be a good addition to the center back there. Moore played his heart out. He was throwing himself at balls to block shots and all of that. Tackled very well in terms of his timing. When it comes down to Jamal Lowe, he was a good player as well, and Andre Gray. So those 3 players to me could be in contention for positions in the core team. In terms of replacing players, I don't see that, because definitely when you look at playing against a Mexico or a US or a Panama or Canada, you definitely need specific players to play against those teams. So I wouldn't say I would throw away or give them starting positions over players that are actually core in the team already.
All right, so here's Craig once again saying that the USA have identified their football culture. They have identified their developmental model based on their country's strengths, and as such, the mold is set for any 11 chosen fairly. Any 11 fairly chosen would win. Agree with that?
No. They have a culture, yes. But the problem is that I don't see where US out muscled us in that game. Because in the early exchanges of the game, we were up there, we were pressing high and all of that. But because of lack of match fitness, we weren't able to keep up with them. US have a football culture, yes. Jamaica, we don't. That is true. And I think that our coach is not tactically aware. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I don't think he's tactically aware, because based on how I saw the team play, they were actually sitting back and hoping to hit US on the counter. I mean, it is a friendly game. Soak up so much pressure is always gonna be a catastrophe. Catastrophe in terms of goal score, and we can see the outcome of the game. 4 goals. We made some schoolboy football mistake. We were ball watching, so nothing was there in terms of, do we play a type of football where we have a central midfield taking the ball, stringing the passes and all of that. Nothing of the sort was there. It was just all over the place. So I agree with Craig on that. But in terms of US having a culture, then could take up any 11 players to beat a Jamaica team. I don't agree with that part. Because
I agree with you 100% on that, because remember that it was quite recent. They were saying that, what's the US coach name again, man? Beralta or something like that. They were saying that he didn't know his first 11. They said that they were still pitching and patching together what was actually the best team, because a lot of fans I saw calling for him to leave because they're saying that they have the quality, they have the players, but guess what? He doesn't know who exactly to choose. So to say that any team that he put out there would possibly fairly win easy, don't really agree with that sentiment.
No.
Yes, they have the players, but if you don't have a particular system, yes, because the US is there and they have, recently they have kind of started to string quite together a few performances, but
Levon, when you look at it, if the core team was there, this US team couldn't have beaten us, if the other players were there, because they would have played in the last game in Saudi Arabia. So, I mean, they would have used to each other. The chemistry would have been there. So, I don't think they would have beat. And US would have assembled that 11. So, with that part, I don't agree with Craig on that part. But in terms of a football culture, yes, they have it and we don't.
All right. So, also, Curtis Hill came on. What did they make of him, Chris?
Repeat that one.
Another defender came on in Curtis Tilt. What did they make of his performance?
Tilt, to be honest, I didn't see the last part of the game. I was too busy watching Nkuma Banner 100. So I can't give an opinion on him. I didn't see the last part. Once Banner was close to making 100, I stopped.
All right, can I be frank? Some of these players that they went for, they're not needed. Point blank.
Expected.
This is one of them that is not needed. And then again, okay, yes, Amari Bella has shown that, oh yes, I'm interested and all of that, but he is also not needed.
We need a right back though, right? Where Bell play again?
Left.
Okay, yeah.
Mariappa was the one that was playing right back.
Play right back, yeah. We have two left backs already. Lawrence and Lee.
Go again?
I think we'd have two left backs we can go forward with, Lawrence and Lee.
Yeah.
But I heard that Holgate is on his way to come in, and still can't forget Alvas Paul. He's now playing he's at Al Hilal in Sudan. Hopefully it's some time again. But as I mentioned, some of these players aren't needed. And my collector, boss man, if you don't choose to go forward, please drop my collector.
From the squad entirely.
That's what I mean. And a player that they were interested in who actually fell down injured, and I really wanted to see him, that was Isaac Aiden, because that man would do way better than what Hector do.
By far.
You know what players like Michael Hector and some of those players that they call show me? If Jamaicans get the right
thank you very much. You know,
from their small, they would do so much better, Levan. That's what those players really show me, When you look at these players getting contract, it's just because they're born in the country and they grow up through system and all of that. I don't think they're all that.
Agree 100%. I've said
and Hector is not playing any football. He's just training. He only played 4 games for Fulham for the entire season.
And there's a reason why he has only played 4 games for Fulham.
Because he's not good.
And Levan, just look at that. When Hector is playing games, he doesn't look good. So you can imagine when he's not playing.
But he's a man that is out of sorts, and the quicker they get rid of him, the better it will be for them. And last but not least, JFF, you and the players just come together, reach an amicable agreement, and just get over with this madness and finish. Because the qualifiers are coming up. You don't want to go into the qualifiers with you and the players at odds, and we as fans not knowing which side is going to be out there, who we can actually look forward to see, and all those things. So get this thing over and done with, man. We want the best for the team. We want to see Jamaica at the World Cup, obviously, because guess what? We are born Jamaican, so we want to see that. However, if this is how they plan to go on, can just kiss that goodbye. So Michael Ricketts and whoever is in charge of JFF, please, man, just get your acts together. The players want to play the game, yes, but if you're not offering the players any sort of, you're not coming with any reasonable offers to them. So, boss man, just find something reasonable to come command them with.
Another point to add to that, we need to have a blueprint going forward. We need to settle this and then have a blueprint going forward. Because teams like USA, if these players really gel, because they're sending away so much young players to Germany to get experience. If these USA players really gel, they will become a top 15, maybe even a top 10 side in the world. So we need to break up our folly grounds and try become a top 30 side in the world.
I remember
Because we have a good core of players who can put us on another level.
remember that it was on the previous show that we pointed out that Mexico is actually ranked 9th in the
Number
world.
9. Yeah.
So, Chris, you're about to say something?
Yeah, to be fair to the players, I think the reason why they come to the bargain table asking for so much and think they deserve a raise was because they've been playing consistent, and that's why the rank has dropped significantly over the years. They have been playing good football, and they have been playing. Most Jamaicans have been satisfied with most of their performances, especially when they go to the Gold Cup. We feel satisfied with them going to the finals, making the final twice. So I think that's the big reason why they're asking for a big ask now, saying we worked our way and we think we deserve a pay raise.
Agreed upon.
Yeah.
Now moving to Europe where we start some action. We'll start off with again the English team. They face San Marino, a team that you expect them to give like a 6, 7, or 8-0. Well, not 6. You expect them to give 8 or 12. They only ended up scoring 5. This English team looks somewhat lackadaisical in that match. They lacked ideas at some point. And Ryan, I know that you're a big Chelsea fan, but I'm going to beat a couple of your Chelsea players, especially Ben Chilwell. Bossman, why is it that your players lack intelligence?
You went beat Chilwell?
Yes, boss man. A regular
Why?
man cut down to the byline and the man just blindly just cross the ball inside the box. Hold up a head, boss, and look for a pass. And on more than one occasion, Sterling like he has to get what? 100 chance before he actually put one into the net, because Sterling got at least 4 to 5 clear-cut chances before he actually
Lingard got
one.
about 10.
I was just going to go to him. Well, that man must rub bench anyway, so.
But
Boss,
you know that goalkeeper, he saved like about 4 goal-bound opportunities.
yeah, he saved the more difficult opportunities.
The difficult ones. The Chilwell shot from distance.
Yeah.
The Ward-Prowse. Normally, Ward-Prowse scored those in the Premier League, and somehow he find a way to hit it on the post.
But you know, the all positivity from that match, only Watkins scoring. Otherwise, from that, it was neither here nor there. So you saw the performance. What do you make of it?
It was England B team going out against a team ranked 200 and something. They won 5-0. There is not more to take from that.
If I was an English fan, I'd be very disappointed. I'd be very disappointed with just scoring 5 goals. But next up, I saw the mighty Germans strolling past Iceland by 3 goals to 0. And let's take a minute to say, boy, Joshua Kimmich, what a player. The man played some absolutely fantastic ball in that match, and I was just in awe of his performance. And the link-up play between these players, no man, it's just reminiscent of the team that won 2014. The only difference is that this team moves the ball quicker, and it goes to one thing that I've always discussed. It's when you have your core players playing for one particular club, because guess what? Kimmich and Goretzka, they have an understanding, along with Sane and Gnabry. All them play for Bayern, so guess what? They have that level of understanding between each other, so they know when to make the runs, they know where to find each other, and it was brilliant football, man. Chris, it seems like you watch the match, man. What do you make of it?
I thought Iceland would have come and played their robust defense. That's the only reason why I was interested in the match. Was interested because I thought Iceland would have shut them out, but that wasn't the case. Like I said, Kimmich, he's a brilliant player. I like watching him. And Germany just played German football. The system always worked. Like I said, they benefit from playing most of their players playing in one Bayern Munich team most times. So when they come together, it's ABC. They know every run, they know every cross. They just communicate on a different level.
All right, coach. Our next team that people have been saying that we have somewhat thrown under the radar a bit, but they have been playing pretty decent, and that's Italy. They beat Northern Ireland by 2 goals anyway, with Dominica Berardi and Ciro Immobile scoring the goals. What do you make of this Italian team?
You know, to be honest, it has been years since I've followed the this Italian team, you know. But I mean, they have been playing good football in terms of they have been winning games, so they would have been extending their unbeaten run. But to be honest, I don't really know anything about this Italian team. Probably I need to start watching back some Italian league.
They have one of the best midfield in the world, if not the best.
What did you say?
Italy, they have one of the best squad of midfielders in the world, if not the best.
Random and beat ya, Ryan.
What you mean? Italy comfortably is in the top 3 where midfielders are concerned. Squad
All right,
of
top 3, but you said that you basically were saying that they have the best. So I was like, what?
I said, if not the best.
No, man, they don't have the best. Because, all right, if you look at the French team midfield, right? The Germany per se right now. Yes, you probably have them third year about, although you could find other teams that has a better midfield than them as well.
Like who?
All right. The only thing that I think your team lack really, is probably a proper DM, and Rice is pretty decent. So even your team also maybe have a better midfield.
No, I wouldn't say they have a better midfield.
In terms of diversity and all that, because you know what's the key thing about this Italian team? Majority of their midfielders are basically the same. Think about it, because all right, you have Barella, you have Verratti, and all those players. Look at them. Don't you think they all play the same way?
I get your point there.
Locatelli, Pellegrini, and all those players. They played similar boss, man. So in terms of diversity, I would say the French team, German team, and even your team, as I mentioned, the English team, you have better midfield.
I would throw Brazil in the mix as well, you know.
I haven't seen them in ages, and I don't really follow Brazil. I'm just joking, man. Because I don't upset the Brazilians, but yeah.
No, seriously, I think Italy has. I think they are up there, definitely top 3 in terms of midfielders in the world.
But I'm sure that the Spanish man will actually be very disappointed. Getting a 1-1 draw with, well, they were gaselled by the Greece team.
Yeah, very disappointed. There's no way. Well, Greece is not a bad playing footballing nation. I think Jamaica should try and go around to get advice from some of these countries. They don't produce no big world-class ball at any one time sometimes, but they come together as a unit and they play good football. And most teams, when you see a team can shut out Spain, it tells you that even though they are not the best, and most people wouldn't predict a draw in that game, much less a scoring draw. Greece, you have to give props to Greece. I like to give props to the underdog in 11. I don't just go around trying to expecting everybody to get flagged like you want San Marino to flag England.
Other way around, I want England to flag San Marino.
Yeah, the other way around. Yeah, but Spain is very very much I guess they are very much in transition mode, trying to find chemistry again. Like trying to find chemistry again. They have so many players. They switch their team ever so often.
You know that I can debunk your point though, because remember that Luis Enrique was the one who actually built this side before whatever reason.
No, but to be fair to Spain, they have a lot of players out.
Yeah,
from this squad.
Like
Spanish man, tell him now.
Did Ramos play?
Of course he played and got cooked at halftime. So you really expect Ramos to carry players forward?
The only
yeah, quite a few players out, man. I don't remember all of them off the top of my head.
It's not no main significant player, like, because like I said, but they've been in transition. Like they bring in Troy, or he's not there no more, so they're still in transition. They don't have no one consistent. They don't have no consistent like you could say, okay, Ramos is a sure pick. The keeper is a sure pick. They don't have no. I would say out and out sure pick. They're still searching.
Let me see.
Still searching.
Carvajal out. Who else out?
The team is
Um,
a big.
I'm trying to remember the players. You have at least like 4 to 5 players out.
Still beating around the bush. But
Yeah,
I honestly believe that you guys have been trash. All right. Before I move on to the fixtures that will take place tomorrow, I want to get your take on this. Both of you guys. Joachim Lewis said to step down, right? If Germany should win this competition, you are the boss. You two guys are now the boss of the German FA. Would you keep him on for the World Cup, or would you just let him go? Starting with Ryan.
Well, if by some miracle he wins, I would ask him to stay on for the next year and a half, given that the World Cup is so close. I guess I would ask him to stay for the next year and a half, because you might get a new coach who has a totally new system, new philosophy, and with a World Cup so close, it might affect the chemistry. So yeah, I think I would ask him to stay for the next year and a half to maintain the chemistry of a winning team. So
Chris, what would you do?
That's a good idea that talks him to stay. But I just always think the Germany team, they don't shake no matter what coach comes in. Once he apply the system that they are used to playing, then I don't see the coach making a big difference in a German setup. It's just the culture of how they play. They are going to play nonetheless of any coach that comes.
No, man, but with what Ryan just said.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree with him. I agree, but I'm saying I just still think no matter what coach comes, Ryan made a good point, but no matter what coach comes, I just think they're still going to look like a well-oiled machine.
All right. There's a situation with the Netherlands because they're a team that has somewhat fallen off big time. I said it on the previous live that they have gone what? This coach Frank de Boer has 7 matches with them and they've won twice. Starting with you, Chris. Should the Dutch fans be bothered by this, that they might be faced with failing again because remember that they didn't make it to the last one? Would you say that they should be
Yes,
worried?
Europe. Yes, when time you're playing in Europe, you should be worried because some of the best teams will probably not make it because it's very competitive in the European qualifiers. But I think once they get back Van Dijk and football is up and running again, most players like Wijnaldum and most players like the Wijnaldums, and I think the guy can't remember this midfielder.
What? De Jong?
Yeah.
Frankie.
From your team, right?
Oh, Van de Beek you're talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, what about him?
He's the Dutch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the type of players that need games. So when he doesn't get games at Man U, and I think more than likely Netherlands need him. He's should be a good pick for the team, but doesn't get a lot of club games. Think it affect the team.
But you know that I disagree again. I think it comes down to the coaching. I think Frank de Boer is a half-full manager. Remember that he came in the Premier League and lasted I think less than 10 matches with Crystal Palace. So he doesn't have a good track record. Went over into America and did decent, but since then, this man career and the loss of Ronald Koeman has set them back big time because remember that this team was a team built by Ronald Koeman and they were playing very good football under him. And the thing is that they keep on chopping players all over the park. So this match you might see a Bergwijn or some youngsters, and then next match is a total different 11 you're looking at. So you keep on trying different thing and it's not working. And majority of the matches that they have played, as I mentioned, up until the other day, the match against Turkey that they lost, That was the most I scored. That was the only match on them that a lot of goals has been scored. Majority of times it was like a 1-0 or 2-0 thereabouts. So the free flowing attacking game that they were playing before is non-existent somewhat, and it is literally Memphis Depay who's actually carrying this team now. If he doesn't play well, then guess what? The Dutch team doesn't play well. And yes, I understand that Van Dijk was integral to what they did, but come on, boss. This is that international team. We're not talking about club football now. You have a lot of defenders right around the entire globe. Yes, as I said, he's world class and all of that, but it shouldn't be this much of an impact to you that it has caused you to be losing and a losing streak right along.
But it's not Van Dijk.
This is not Van Dijk. What is happening with the Dutch team? No, it's not on Van Dijk being missing. It's on the coach.
The other
Solely
center
on the coach.
is missing as well, though. Nathan Ake.
No, man, but again, keep on pointing to Chris. This is a national team, boss, man. There's Nathan Ake and all those players. Yes, they used to play here and there, but if you want me to start list out Dutch defenders, probably this show would probably go to 2 hours. Because I can list out quality Dutch defenders currently playing in the Dutch division and also across Europe that they don't really necessarily miss these men because, all right, Delict is still there, still fit. You have a youngster at Ajax. His name is Pershers. A lot of you might know him, some might not. Quality defender that as well. Daley Blin as well. He has been, even though he has been up and down somewhat because of health issues, he's still there. So, yeah, so he's still there. So then again, as I said, this shouldn't be affecting him this badly, brother. But we look forward to some matches that will be in place tomorrow, and looking further than Belgium taking on Czech Republic. That should be a big match.
Yeah.
Czech Republic has been doing very well with the man who is expected to win the Ballon d'Or. Guys, I'm just kidding. But yeah, man, Tamas Soucek and this Belgian team who has been unstoppable. They have been playing very well. Coach, where's this one going? Because this should be a very interesting fixture tomorrow.
I would give it to Belgium. They have always been playing good football. It's not gonna be an easy win though, but I do believe that I'll give Belgium the edge. And if I were to predict a scoreline, it would be 2-1.
All right, and fixture that should interest some. We just spoke about them, the Dutch team. They'll be taking on Latvia tomorrow. If this man can't win this game, there's absolutely no reason to keep him any longer. Next up, we'll also see Serbia taking on Portugal. Ryan.
Serbia, Portugal. Who's the home team in this tie?
Serbia.
Okay, you know Serbia is going to play tough, rigid football. I'm going 1-0 Portugal.
Chris, you agree with that? Because
No,
all right, in the previous match, I never really liked how Portugal look. And I came out here and a lot of people gave me some sticks for saying that Christie is a bug. But I still stand by Christie should sit on the bench.
I like Portugal to win. 2-1.
All right, boss. On Sunday, we'll see France taking on Kazakhstan. France need to get this win under the belt. They drew the previous match with Ukraine, so they definitely need to go out and win this game. You see them winning, Chris?
Well, it's very tricky, but I like them to win again.
Tricky?
Why is it tricky, boss, man? You're playing against Kazakhstan.
Yeah, I want to know where the trickiness come from there.
Well, there's no trick in it, like I said. There shouldn't be no trick in it. I don't expect.
Only trickiness is to say Kazakhstan.
I don't. I don't expect France to probably play their A team either. They probably want to give some other players games and look at other players as well. But yeah, it should be a comfortable win, like I say. Shouldn't be nothing.
They need to play their players because they need to get this win under their belt. They started a quite strong team in the previous match and it ended up drawing. They need to get this win. Also, we'll see Ryan team, England taking on Albania in a match that would be way more trickier than the fixture that they played against San Marino and also way more trickier than the match that Chris was just saying should prove tricky between France and Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
Ryan, your take on this one? How you see it ending?
An away game.
Yeah.
This England will definitely use their A team for this game. I expect England to win, but not a 5-0 victory. Somewhere closer to a 2-0.
All right, and on that point, I'm going to ask you this question now. Who would you start in the midfield?
For England,
Yeah.
Rice.
Stoke.
Matter of fact, I'll go with it. There are a lot of options. Rice. Maybe I'll go with Foden. And
next one, you go with a Chelsea player?
Probably.
But
probably. Because I think we need an attacking. We need a player that can attack and one that can go box to box. So probably Mount and Foden.
But on the wings though, do you expect Lingard to start? Because there's no Sancho, there's no Grealish, there's no Maddison, there's no Rashford. So who is going to start on the wings for you?
Raheem Sterling.
Yeah, you have Sterling, but who else?
Sterling will start. And we don't get back Saka yet.
Nope.
Oh, tough.
So Foden might have to
play in the front three, and Bellingham start in the midfield.
Ryan, listen to me keenly. One, Jesse Lingard of West Ham United and loan from Manchester United will start that game tomorrow, Sunday. Remember?
I hope not, but
you remember before this team was picked, I came out and I said that Jesse Lingard will be in that England team. Let's watch out again. Also, we'll see Spain taking on Georgia. Spain need a win. And I'm sure there's nothing tricky about this again, Chris. You guys should win this game.
Yes, Spain should probably have this one wrapped in the bag, but Georgia.
You're not so unconfident, you know.
Yeah, man was unconfident as a Spanish fan.
Yeah.
Spain is going to have this one in the bag. Probably a 3-0 victory. Nothing
Spain
to
going
worry.
Georgia?
Yeah.
Well, the way Spain playing all over the place, they might board a flight to Atlanta, Georgia.
Coach, next up we'll see Germany taking on Romania. You think that the Germans will run out victors again?
Yeah, man, that's a easy win for the Germans, no doubt about that. Germany is playing some gorgeous football. They are sublime with their passes, with their defense. It's just like the Germany team of old, well-oiled machine. They're a little dip in form in the past World Cup, but I mean, Germany is back. Easy win for them.
Really?
Yeah.
Boss. That's why my team going underneath the radar now. I'm to the man, stop talking about my team so much, man. Just like how the man themselves on the 21 side, France and England are favorite and all those teams. So just so I'm going underneath the radar and just go about
Germany had 2 years of struggling now, so it's not just the World Cup that struggled.
Yeah, agreed upon. But the thing with the German team, of course, is that they adapted the Spanish style football. Slow build up and all those things. And boss man, in today's game,
not working.
that's not going to work. So they have changed that completely and they have now reverted to playing fast with two very good wingers. Like again, I keep on mentioning that. You see that chemistry between those Bayern players, that is what is going for Germany right now. And some teams can copy the model and hope that it works, but this plays a lot because guess what? From your understanding from your club come right through to the national team, there's nothing can stop you. And look at it. Kimmich is actually second leading assist maker in the Bundesliga this season. You know, Gretzky is not far behind.
But remember when the squad was picked, and I said to you that Germany's best option is to play attacking football because when you come up against a big team, them going to score on you because the defense and all that. They are going to score.
No worry yourself, man. We have the big Antonio Rudiger around there.
Exactly, that is the problem.
But we expect that Germany will run out victors in this game, and On that note, since I'm the German, I've come to the end of the live. It was once again a very good show. Thanks for all those who have tuned in, and thanks to the producer. We had like over 30 viewers and over 200 comments. And Craig Butler, don't want to just in the comment section, man. Come on the show and stop hiding from us, man. We need to see and hear. The people have been asking you. Come on here, come talk about the game, man. And again, thanks to our first time viewers. Thanks to everyone who makes this possible, especially the producer. This is the last show until probably the next week or so, because I'll be dealing with my mom's burial and all of that next week. So there will be no show next week. Guys, thanks for everyone who has been supporting me, and keep on supporting the Sports Frenzzyy on all platforms. This is what makes my mind ease, and this is what keeps me going. So guys, just support it. And we're currently at what, 600 and around 62 followers on Facebook. Let's get this to 700 before this month's finish. Thanks again to Coach Minzy for passing through from Coach's desk. You can practically say this man is now part of the family. Thanks to Ryan for tuning in. Thanks to Ryan for being here. Thanks to Chris Lynch for being here again. And again to our viewers, thanks to you all. Until we meet again, and till next time, peace out. Have a happy Easter. Blessings.
Bless. And condolences